Welcome, friends. Welcome back. I'm very excited today to share some songs picturized on a very, very talented actor whose flame burnt very brightly but for tragically short time. I'm talking about the incomparable Smita Patil. Born in 1955, she became one of the most uniquely talented actors in Bollywood. She would lose herself in any role that was given to her. She was naturally very unself conscious in front of the camera. She entered Indian cinema at a time when it was changing. Art films were becoming very relevant culturally, and they were also becoming very viable commercially. Directors like Shyam Benegal took on huge social themes and brought them to light via cinema. Smita's natural talent and her inclination towards social justice made her perfect for these movies. She came from a family that was very socially conscious. Her parents were in social service all their lives. She was such a uniquely talented human being. She came into Indian cinema via television, actually. She was a newsreader on Doordarshan. Her screen presence was such that she got a lot of movie offers. She was always completely believable in all of her roles, and she was in a number of very, very diverse acting roles, be it a very young prostitute in Mandi or an aging woman who was trying to eke out a living in the slums while trying to keep her son on the straight and narrow in Chakra, or the fiery peasant woman in Mirch Masala. She was phenomenal. The first movie that I saw of Smita Patil was Bhumika. It was early on in her career. It was basically the story of the famous Marathi actress Hansa Vadkar. I remember watching this movie and thinking, my God, this woman is incredible. It was a tough role. She, for a young actor, or I should say inexperienced actor, she played this role with such a light and deft touch, and yet managed to portray the angst and intensity of Hansa Vadkar. The song that I'd like to share with you today is a song that is picturized on Smita. She's shooting a song in the movie, so it's a movie within a movie. Music is by Vanraj Bhatia, and the lyrics are by Vasant Dev. तुम्हारे बिन जीना लागे घर में बलम जी.
तुम्हारे बिन जीना लगे घर में, तुम्हारे बिन जीना लगे घर में, बलम जी तुमसे मिला के अखिया, बलम जी तुमसे मिला के अखिया, तुम्हारे बिन जीना लगे घर में. बदल गई मैं तो एक नजर में, बदल गई मैं तो एक नजर में, बलम जी तुमसे मिला के अखियाँ, तुम्हारे बिन जीना लगे घर में.
Nishant, another Shyam Benegal movie, was about the iniquities that are inflicted by zamindars on peasants and how the peasants revolt. Smita Patil has basically got a relatively small role in this movie. It's a significant role, but not very long. She doesn't have much dialogue. She doesn't have all that much screen time. The story is basically the local zamindar. He and his brothers are thugs. They kidnap the local school teacher's wife in revenge for him standing up against them. The youngest brother, played by Nasiruddin Shah, develops a relationship with this woman who is portrayed absolutely phenomenally by Shabana Azmi. It's a sort of a Stockholm syndrome kind of a relationship. Smita plays Nasiruddin Shah's wife in this movie. She portrays so much emotion. It's a very complex kind of a role that she's playing. She's going through a whole lot of complexities, conflict of feelings within her, sympathy towards this woman, anger at her husband, yet anger at this woman as well because she's stealing her husband from her. She portrays all of this virtually without saying a word, just the expressions on her face. So even though Shabana has the main role in this movie as the lead actor, you come away after having watched this movie with Smita's intense performance in your mind. The song from this movie that I'd like you all to listen to is played sort of as a background through the movie. It was written by Quli Qutub Shah, the fifth Shah of the Golconda, famous Qutub Shahi dynasty of Golconda. Music is by Vanraj Bhatia. It's been sung by Preeti Sagar. Piya Baje Pyala.
पिया बाज एक दिल जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना नहीं इश्क जिसको बड़ा कूड़ है नहीं इश्क जिसको बड़ा कूड़ है कभी उससे मिलकर बिसिया जाए ना पिया बाज एक दिल जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना कुतुब शान दे मुझ दीवाने को कुतुब शान दे मुझ दीवाने को दीवाने को कुछ पंद दिया जाए ना पिया बाज एक दिल जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना जिया जाए ना
Gaman, released in 1978, starred Farooq Sheikh along with Smita Patil. Again, a socially relevant theme. This poor man from Lucknow comes to Bombay hoping to achieve his dreams, simply put. He goes through a very difficult time. He ultimately becomes a taxi driver. Yet he is never able, despite struggling day in and day out, he is never able to return to his village and be with his wife. The movie ends with him driving around the city. You know, it's a very sort of a hopeless feeling, very tragic movie. It was a movie that was a debut for a number of people. Muzaffar Ali as a director, Nana Patekar as an actor, he has a supporting role in this movie, Hariharan as a playback singer. Smita is the lonely, left behind wife who is taking care of her mother in law. She conveys all these emotions of loneliness, sadness, anger, desperation, just through those magnificent eyes of hers. It's a beautiful performance by both Farooq Sheikh and her in this movie. Music was by the uniquely talented Jaydev. Lyrics were by Shahryar. The song that I would like you all to listen to has been sung by Suresh Wadkar. सीने में जलन आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है इस शहर में हर शख्स परेशान सा क्यों है
सीने में जलन आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है सीने में जलन आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है इस शहर में हर शख्स परेशान सा क्यों है इस शहर में हर शख्स परेशान सा क्यों है सीने में जलन दिल है तो धड़कने का बहाना कोई ढूंढे दिल है तो धड़कने का बहाना कोई ढूंढे पत्थर की तरह बेहिसो बेजान सा क्यों है पत्थर की तरह बेहिसो बेजान सा क्यों है सीने में जलन
Manthan, released in 1976, was a movie based on the dairy cooperative movement started by Verghese Kurian in Gujarat. Kurian teamed up with a local social worker, Tribhuvan Das, and started this cooperative that is now highly successful. Shyam Benegal was very inspired by this, and he co-wrote the screenplay with Vijay Tendulkar. Smita Patil plays an illiterate peasant woman, a Dalit woman, who teams up with the local veterinary doctor, played by Girish Karnad, and is inspired to start this cooperative. The cast, as always in a Shyam Benegal movie, is fantastic, and they all put in such a power-packed performance. Yet, it is Smita's role as this Dalit woman who is abandoned by her husband, who later comes in and does a whole bunch of manipulation, who stands out in this role. She is a strong woman who, despite her illiteracy, manages to stand up and take responsibility and take charge. The song in this movie, the lyrics were written by Neeti Sagar Music is by Vanraj Bhatia. There are two versions of the song. One is a fast version, the other is slow. Lyrics are different for both versions, by the way. And it's played in small bits through the entire movie. I would like to share the fast bit, a little bit of the fast bit with you guys. Mero gam katha pare.
मेरो गाम काठा पारे जा दूध की नदिया वाहे जा कोयल डोको गाए मारे घर अंगना ना भूलो ना ए मारे घर अंगना ना भूलो ना मेरो गाम काठा पारे जा दूध की नदिया वाहे जा कोयल डोको गाए मारे घर अंगना ना भूलो ना ए मारे घर अंगना ना भूलो ना मारे गामड़ लीला लेर जहाँ नाचे मोरन डेल जा दूध किरे लमचे जा वड़पी पल्ली छैया माँ सुखती चती गैया आवो आवो रे आवो आवो मारे गाम सबको प्यारू मारू धाम याद रखियो मेरो शाम मारे घर अंगना ना भूलो ना मारे घर अंगना ना भूलो ना कभी रुकना मारे गाम ओ परदेसिया ओ परदेसिया
Smita Patil left behind a phenomenal legacy of her movies in different languages, different genres, different roles. She died 2 weeks after the birth of her son Pratik, very, very tragically, at the very young age of 31. In that short time, she had been felicitated by many Filmfare Awards, 2 national awards, and the Padma Shri. I will be back with this incredible human being, more about her movies and her life in future episodes. But until then, remember, music is food for the soul. Keep listening.